Hello, and welcome to the RANGROO unit of the week. And today we are taking a look at the Super Cobra for the US of A. So in the mid-1960s, a H-1 Cobra was released. It was to help support the ground troops in Vietnam, pretty much being a gunship. And the Marines looked at it, said it looked pretty banging, and they wanted one for themselves. So they brought a bunch of Cobras, but they made them better by giving it twin engines, so they could actually fly over water and lose an engine, but still have enough run to keep it flying. And they also gave it a 20mm cannon, and they dubbed this the Sea Cobra. But over time, the Sea Cobra got outdated, and in the 80s, the Marines needed a new attack helicopter. They asked Congress if they could use the new AH-64 Apaches, but they were denied. So instead, they were forced to pretty much jury-rig their Sea Cobras and improve it into the Super Cobra. The big improvement over the Super Cobra from the Sea Cobra, not just that it has Super in its name, is that the Super Cobra could fire AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles that usually find in airplanes, and Hellfire missile systems, which are an awful lot better than your standard TOW counterparts. In-game, the Super Cobra is a 120-point American attack helicopter with a year restriction of 1988, so you can only have it in Cat A decks, and a type restriction of Marine and Airborne. It is not prototyped, so you can have it in mixed decks as well. If we take a look at its first weapon, we've got the 20mm Vulcan minigun with a 1.5km range against ground units, and the same range against helicopter units, 20% accuracy, 10% stabilizers, 2 AP, 1 HE, and over 1,000 rounds a minute. A very nice autocannon, I have to admit. Pretty good at knocking out lightly armoured targets like all autocannons. Very good range as well. It's not as great as, let's say, the Apache gun, but it gets the job done. Its secondary armament, the AIM-9M fire and forget missiles, with a range of helicopters of 2.8 kilometers, airplane range of 3.8 kilometers, 60% accuracy and 60% while moving, with 5 HE power and a reload time of 2 seconds. These are airplane missiles on a helicopter, and they do look a little bit daft on the helicopter, but they are so bloody effective. It has 2.8 kilometers on enemy helos. You can outrange Ka-52 Akula's Igla-M's with these missiles, and they're very powerful at knocking out airplanes. You can use this as an AA unit. Yeah, that's how good these missiles are. The only real downside, is that you only get 2 of them, so you better make your shots count. And its third armament, the TOW-2 ATGM, with a range of ground of 2.6 kilometers, 70% accuracy, 50% stabilizers, and 25 armor penetration power. It is a very powerful ATGM system, not as good as the Hellfire, but that 25 AP is going to break through an awful lot of armor. And you do get 8 of these missiles as well, so you can shoot quite a lot of tanks before you need to reload. And if we just pop down to take a look at its miscellaneous stats, has no armor whatsoever, and only 6 HP, but it does have 350 km/h speed, which is awfully fast. Has no optics whatsoever, only having poor optics. It's small size as well, so it's going to be hard to hit, and a very good autonomy of 600 km. In battle, the Super Cobra is a pretty outstanding attack helicopter. It has those sidewinders, which is the big deal about this helicopter. One of the only helicopters that uses airplane missiles to shoot down enemy helicopters and enemy airplanes. And the missiles are bloody effective. You can outshoot Hind, you can outshoot Ka-52, Sokols. You're pretty much going to be the king of the skies. But your reign is probably going to be short-lived, as you only have 2 missiles to work with, so you have to make your shots count. Also, do remember, you have the Vulcan minigun, great for dealing with lightly armoured targets and infantry units, and for when you really want a tank dead, the TOW-2 missiles do a pretty outstanding job. There are a few downsides though to the helicopter. It only has 6 HP and no armor whatsoever, so it's going to get shot down very easily, and losing one of these helicopters is pretty expensive, as it costs 120 points, which is pretty much a drop in the bucket. Just as long as you keep this helicopter from harm's way, it will perform quite outstandingly. It also has that high speed, so you can get to the front line very fast, and heck, you could probably use this unit as a standard AA. Just land it on the ground, near some supply helicopters, and you can just blow the enemy Hinds and Akulas out the sky very easily. And if any enemy tanks try to get close to you, just pop them with some 2-2 missiles. But you don't really want to do that in a real match, right? But hey, it's been another RANGROO's Unit of the Week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and most importantly, take it easy.